V8 swapped E30s and or E36s, you can count me in. Which is why I bought this V8 puzzle. Jokes aside, a friend of mine proposed this M62B44TU to me for quite cheap, and he only lives like 2 villages away, so yeah, no brainer. Got there, picked it up, but every car guy knows that when something is cheap, there's something wrong with it. Before we can put this into an older 3 Series chassis, well, we first have to solve a V8 puzzle, because yeah, all these boxes are from the engine. As you can see, the engine is literally sitting on towers, because the crank is missing, and all of that is in these 2 blue crates and grey boxes. Some people might think I'm crazy for buying this. In hindsight, absolutely. But in my head, it's very logical. You get something you want for cheaper and you already have the possibility to inspect the condition. I could check that none of the bearings had play because they all looked very good. You're basically buying an opened mystery box, which in itself gives you a bit of security. Nope. And I don't know about you, but to me that does sound like quite a good deal. Again, definitely not. And this is our game plan. Right here we have my engine crane, and I'll use that beast to somehow jack this up. Then check if we can get that onto this plate somehow and onto my engine stand. From there on, we'll go through the 4 cases and sort everything out. Hopefully find everything to revive this engine within 2 or 3 years, because right now I have other projects and I really want an E36 V8 or E30. But right now is not the time. I just had the opportunity to already pre-buy the engine, so I took that opportunity. I'm going to just pull the engine forward because I have it on towels. It's still a V8 and quite heavy. Even both pickup points are there. As you can see, even the valve covers were off, so I could see that none of the cam lobes had wear, which was also great. And the engine looks somewhat clean. There's not a whole lot of varnish. I'm gonna have to lift it up on this end. So, if you look very closely, you can see a big fat issue. Might sound weird, but getting the backing plate from the engine stand to fit is a bit trickier on V8s, because usually the bell housing is way bigger than on 4 cylinders and 6 cylinders. So it's a thing of spacing if it works or not, and in my case I actually had to spin it 3 different ways to get it to fit and whatnot. But we got it, and that's all that matters. Threads should be the same as on my E46. Or did somebody already destroy them? That's the question. Okay, I solved the mystery. They are M10 bolts and not M12. So, M10 bolts fit. Thankfully there's no thread damage. I could have sworn that they were M12, same as on the M52TU. It's weird that the V8 has smaller bolts, but the spacing of the bell housing gives it more leverage, so I don't know. Tomorrow I'll do a quick hardware run and get some longer M10 bolts, because the ones I have are not long enough. Bummer, but then we'll continue. The engine stand even survived the first impact, so yeah, this thing is quite heavy, but since it's a V8, the 4 cylinders are closer, so there's not that much leverage on one end, so yeah, I hope this will last. Enough talking, let's reassemble this hunk of scrap. So, I hope this will be visible enough. We're going into cylinder 4. And I need to invest into a better boroscope, because this one is quite shitty. On the E9 it did kind of work, but on this one I don't see jack shit. After that massive fail, we'll now take all these boxes, get them out, clean the parts a tiny bit so it's less disgusting, and then try to assemble it. The thing that's most obvious that's missing is the crankshaft. So let's start with the bottom end. I feel like this engine will just roll on me, so yep. The wrong type of coolant, not good. See, the rod bearings don't look that bad, while obviously they are slightly going onto the base coat, but it's not like they were terrible and or starting to develop some play. Even on the main bearings, you can see that they are starting to show some wear, but it's not like this thing had a catastrophic engine failure. I'll quickly look for the missing parts in my mystery boxes and I'll be right back. Through pure chance, I found the 2 missing bearings. Quickly clean all the surfaces where we'll lay the crank. I tried getting the camera to cooperate to show the cylinder liners, and they actually look quite good. The cross-hatching is still in great condition, and yeah, I just had to push the pistons down on every cylinder, and then I could check what the wear is within the spectrum where the piston moves up and down, and on all 8 it still looks usable, so I just post a picture right here. Next up, I'll quickly clean the crank, because for some weird reason on one of the lobes there's like 5 kilos of dirt on there, so that needs to be cleaned before putting it in. On all the journals it looks okay, but on this one there is a tiny speck of rust right there. Nothing too major. When we actually rebuild the engine for good, I'll give it a hand polish. Right now I'll just put a chemical on there that completely dissolves the rust so it doesn't rust further, and then I'll oil it up. This will 100% work out if the engine is running after the rebuild, because yeah, it's really not that bad. But still, I would have preferred it to not have rust on the journal. While the product is working, I'll take that time to remove all the 5 tons of silicone around the engine, because yeah, somebody tried to use silicone to keep this thing mostly dry, but that didn't really work out. A weird piece right there. I don't know how this is supposed to work. I think this pipe is actually bent. But yeah, I'm going to have to check that, because this is also bent. Yeah, I hope this is not bent, but looking at this kink, yeah, that's definitely bent. Well, things just took a turn for the worst. Are you ready? Don't scare. It is imperative that you take the cap from the conrod to the place it was taken out of. So I have to look which fits where. Because these are split caps, and therefore they only close 100% if the split marks align. The way you try to find them back is you read this number, E62, go into your crate, take this one and check. E62. Then you clean the bearing on both sides, and you match up both numbers, and then you can close it. I'll do the rest of them off camera, so I'll spare you guys the details. And then things got real bad. The engine is back on the floor. I am still cleaning up parts. These still have to be cleaned. This is clean. That way everything is clean and in one crate. Because I am either selling this engine for spares, or it will just stay there for quite some while, because I got scammed. I got the engine from a friend who got it from a friend, and that friend scammed him and he sold it to me without knowing it was broken. And I believe him because he bought it already disassembled with the part that's broken on the floor, which is also why I didn't notice it when buying it. The rear part of the block is cracked, where the ears for the starter are on both sides. The guy that removed it from the car, he messed up in some way or another, and I actually wrote to my friend and he just said, well, I didn't know, so let me reach out to that other guy, and he just said I was incompetent because I mounted it the wrong way. Well, obviously that's wrong, because the crack was already filled with oil, so the engine ran or has been run with that for a long time. And on the oil pan there is a slight hue where dirt accumulated in the crack in the block. As you can see, there's a tiny part where there is sediments around the crack, and if you turn it around you will see that it matches perfectly with the side of the block that is cracked, right there. So that was there long before I bought the engine, which is quite inconvenient because I actually wanted to rebuild the engine and not have to actually need a machine shop to do it. With a crack in the block, that's going to be a bit harder. So I will probably not keep this engine, and this video was a bit of a waste of time, but yeah, I just wanted to give you guys the update, and it's frustrating. I'm properly frustrated. I guess the moral of the story is don't trust other people. And what annoys me the most is the audacity to then say I broke it if it's been broken before. Because I would have noticed when I break something, and obviously breaking something is very normal, but that wasn't me. Like, I can admit when I broke something and I didn't break that. So yeah, I'm pissed. All of that will go into this crate, or most of that will go into this crate, and then the engine and the crate will go under the table until it's sold or not, because we're buying another engine. I am picking up another M51D25. I want to build this one to around 200 horsepower-ish with different headers, turbo, different intercooler, everything, and then have the whole system homologated and be fully street legal as my ultimate dream daily. Well, dream daily would be E34 as a touring, but I will not trade, so it's good. So yeah, see ya!